Okay, start another English with another Wi-Fi. So Satyavrata Muni, he starts in Dasya Rasa. And he grows for Dasya Vatsalya, Sakya Vatsalya, and then Madhurya Rasa. He's immersed in Madhurya Rasa. How to relish Rasa Madhurya? Slowly, slowly. The sadhaka performing sadhana, his heart will become purified. Means his heart will be devoid of anarthas, lust and anger. And then slowly, slowly, in his purified heart, samvid, Hadini will appear on the basis of samviti and sandhini. Then the heart becomes very soft. And the person has so much taste for hearing Harikatha now, in this moment. Surjans Samabhaga. Doing bhajan sadhana slowly, slowly, the heart of the sadhaka will become completely soft, very soft. And in this moment, on the basis of Sandhini, Samvit and Nadini will come. Samvit and Nadini will come on the basis of Sandhini. They will reflect there. And then what will happen? The heart becomes so soft. So in this very soft heart, one rays of the love of the Nityasiddha Brajavasis will come and reflect in this heart. This is called Bhavadasha, the stage of Bhava. This look explains. Samyabhaka. Ruchibi means what? This rays of the prema of the Brajavasis. So if the prema of the Brajavasis compared to a sun, so one of the sun rays means the sun rays of this sun of prema will come and reflect in the pure heart of the sadhaka. That's how, because the heart of the sadhaka is on the basis of Sandhini, has Samvit and Nadini. And this sun rays of this prema will reflect. And the sadhaka's heart becomes really soft. And in this moment the person has ruchi for Bhagavad Katha and Harinam. And also there are three symptoms, three desires, three abhilashas come. So, first, Bhagavad Prapti Abhilash, desire to attain to Lord. Sohrada Abhilash, desire to be friends with the eternal associates of Lord. And third, Anukula Abhilash, desire to make things only favorable for the mode you want to attain. So these three things will come, these three desires. Abhilasha means desire. So first, Bhagavad Prapti Abhilash. Another, Sohrida Abhilasha. Sohrida means friendship mode, desire to make friendship with the Nityasiddha Brajavasis. One of the bhavas, Dasa Sakya Vatsalya Madhurya, you have this Sohrida Bhav, means this friendship mood. Just like, for example, you tell everything which is in your heart to your dear friend, your intimate friend. You're not in front of someone who has duplicity and hypocrisy, but in front of a very dear and intimate friend, you will what? Open your heart and tell everything. So Sohrida Bhav. So if you have the same mood of the Brajavasi, then you have this friendship mode with him, this Nityasiddha Brajavasi. Just like, for example, if in your heart you have Sakya Bhav, you have Sohida Bhav, this friendship mood with Subal Shrudam. If you have Vatsalya Bhav, then you have friendship mood with Nanda and Jashoda. And if you have Paramur mood, Shringaras, then you have friendship mood with Radha, Lalita, Vishaka, etc. So it's necessary to have Sohida Bhav, this friendship mood. Achata Didi, o som tá melhor agora? Hare Krishna, tá melhor o som? Tá travando? So Bhagavad Prapti Abhilasa and another Suhida Bhav Abhilasa, desire to thank the Lord, desire to friendship mode with the eternal associates in the same mode, and third Anukula Abhilasa means everything which is favorable for Bhagavad Seva, for the service to Bhagavan, you have the desire to accept all this. Goshte means Vrindavan. All the animals, birds in Vrindavan, all the insects, all they are servants, they are favorable for Krishna's service. Not unfavorable, but favorable. There's lion, also tigers there, snakes. Everyone is there. But look, externally this tiger, lion, but they're all favorable for the pastimes of Krishna, not unfavorable. In Goloka Vrindavan Dham, there's nothing unfavorable. If the person was unfavorable, he will not even be able to go to the spiritual world, because before going to the spiritual world, you are tested here, and then you can go. So, if you want to go, if you have to go to Goloka Vrindavan, first of all, you will be very well tested. So then you'll be sent there. Nobody is sent like if not tested before. That's why there's no one unfavorable for Krishna's pastimes. So first sadhana siddhi, then mantra siddhi, bhav siddhi, swarup siddhi, vastu siddhi, vastu siddhi. And then after that, yes, you get the stage of parikar. Then you can go to the spiritual world. You are brought there. So it's not possible to have anything unfavorable there. Everything is favorable for Krishna's pastimes. Externally they look like unfavorable, but actually they are not. All the Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, Shastra glorify the glories of these living entities of Vrindavan, that this bhava may appear in our hearts. So in this Damodarashtakam, Satyavrata Muni, he's praying. So there's prarthana, many ways of like Vigyapati. So there's some prarthana, then Vigyapati, and third in the Bhagavad Sindhu, so Vigyapati Mulak, Prarthana Mulak, kinds of prayer to Krishna. And another Siddhi Lalasa or Lalasamai Mulak. Lalasamai, like you're praying with so much eagerness for the perfection. विज्ञापति मूलक और प्रार्थना मूलक. Lalasa means eager, longing. When this come in my heart, make this come in my heart. Just like when you see a rasgulla, you are eager, like you are eager to eat it. Oh, so beautiful. And you start drooling, like salivating from your. This is lalasa. This is eagerness, longing. So these kirtans are also in this mode, lalasa. So Vigyapati Maya, another kind of kirtan. For example, Hindi now. Bhaktivinoda Thakur so in the first verse he's saying what? Namamishwaram. Namami means obeisances. Namaskar. Ashirvad, namaskar or Vastu Nirdesh. So Ashirvad, Namaskar and Vastu Nirdesh. In the beginning of the book, you are giving this. Shastra explains. In the beginning, always you have to do these three things. Explain these three things. So you tell Vastu Nirdesh means you tell what you're going to speak about. And Namaskar, you bring obeisances to him. Ashirvad means blessing. Okay, so Krishna is a small boy, and then later this explained that Mother Yashoda bound him to a rope that she used to bind her braid, and she used this to bind him in the grinding mortar. But he's not an ordinary person, he's God, he's Ishvara, he's the supreme controller, and he's always ever fresh, newly beautiful form. You know, he's very fresh beauty he has. And also he is the supreme controller of Brahma, Shiva, Narada, also all the Dikpal. Dikpal means the controller of the directions, protector of directions. So Aswar and Ishwar. So destroyable is something which is destroyable. So today you see something, and after some time that thing is destroyed. Naswar. The word is Naswar. Naswar also means not Ishvara. It also means destroyable. For example, you see a building, you see a tree. All this, one day or another, everything will be destroyed. So Shastra explains, there are many conceptions. Dansabash, Pragdamsabash. If I speak too much, you'll be even dizzy. You won't be able to understand anything. So no need to speak all this. But those who are Panditas, they know. If I speak to Panditas, they will be happy to hear this. Isn't it? So Namam Ishwaram. The pranam to Ishvara. What did I say? So 3. When you tell about the subject, it is going to be described. So to attain the perfection in what you want, to be able to get what you want, what you have to do? You have to do obeisances, pay pranams. If you do pranams to someone, automatically the person will put his hand on your head, give him blessing. We see this in the Mahabharata. Before the start of the war of Kurukshetra, Arjun, he shot an arrow, and this arrow went and went exactly to near the feet. Arrow went near the feet of all the superiors, all the gurus, Kripacharya, Dronacharya, and Bhishma Pitamaha, near the feet. And everybody's like, what is going on? Everybody was surprised. Then Bhishma Pitamaha, he told, oh, Arjuna is following all the etiquette, nice behavior of etiquette. He's actually doing pranam. And immediately he did pranam. So I thought, Vijay Bhavo may be victorious. So Bhishma told Arjuna, give blessing. In the beginning of the Mahabharata war, when Arjuna, he shot this arrow like paying pranams, obeisances to Bhishma Pitamaha near his feet. So this arrow ends near the feet of all the gurus, the superiors. Arjuna was paying obeisances to them. And then Bhishma Pitamaha told, Vijay Bhavo, may you be victorious. Listening to this, Duryodhana became furious. You are fighting my side or in their side? What is this? If they win, we will be defeated. We will lose. Then Bhishma Pitamaha told, look, if you do pranam to any superior, automatically their hands will come automatically on you, giving blessings on your head. Bhishma Pitamaha told, foolish, stupid Duryodhana, you don't know the etiquette, proper etiquette. You don't know the... So how possible? So in the first sloka of the Madharastaka, Satyavrata Muni, he's doing pranam. And he's showing the etiquette. So he's doing pranam to Ishvara. He's the controller of Brahma, Shiva, etc. He's not ordinary. His form is Satchidananda. He's spiritual, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. So how is this Bal Gopal? He has beautiful earrings. He's in Vrindavan now. Afraid of his mother, when he jumped off the grinding mortar and he ran in the middle of the main road. This form is described here, this form of Krishna in this moment. At that moment, the beautiful, amazing form of Bal Gopal. How is it? So here is being described. Wow. So he's afraid of Mother Jashoda. Look, what did Gopal do? He jumped off the grinding mortar. He jumped off it. Jumped from it, and he was running away. And Mother Jashoda was running behind him. And then what happened? Gopa means Jashoda. So here Gopa means Jashoda. Mother Jashoda, how she was running? So Krishna was running with some speed, and Mother Jashoda was running faster than Krishna. So in this way she caught Krishna. How? Paramrishta means from the back. From the back. She caught him from the back. Gopal was running, Mother Jashoda was behind, Then Mother Jashoda, she ran faster than him. So she caught him from the back. So Sanatana Goswami in the commentary describes this very well in the Digdarsha Tika. All the forms of Krishna, if analyzed and described in details, it was so much bliss. Like if you describe in details this form of Krishna is giving so much bliss. Okay, we read the shloka, the 4 lines of the shloka. But when you read the shloka, you should also think about it. Wow! How is the beautiful form of Krishna? Sachirananda Rupam. Krishna has many avatars, and all they are very beautiful also. Because God, He is Sachirananda Mahiswarup. He is the embodiment of this existence and spiritual bliss. So there are 24 avatars described in the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam describes about many avatars. Shukadeva Goswami explained in the Bhagavatam, starting from Matsya, then Kurma, Varaha, all of them, they are all described, like all the descriptions about them. But the best form is the form of Krishna. So Krishna is called Sarva Avatari. So he's the source of all incarnations. Avatar, incarnation. Avatari, source of all incarnations. So the speciality of Krishna is being described. How is his form? Narabat, like a human being. Vedanta Sutra explains. Bhagavan, the form of Govinda, is performing pastimes like a human being. Lokabat Lila Koibalam. Koibalam means only pastimes like a human being. And this is so beautiful, so sweet. The avatars of like Matsya, Varaha, etc., they appeared for only a moment and then they disappeared. But Ram and Krishna, the form is very beautiful and sweet, attractive. Very like, completely enchanting the heart. Completely attracts everyone's heart. Yesterday or the day before, I told the form of Ramachandra is also nothing less, like it's also very beautiful. So Ramachandra, Nrsimha and Krishna, 3 of them, Rupa Goswami explains that they are, in the Laghu Bhagavatam, Rupa Goswami explains they are Bhagavat Parakashta. They are Bhagavat Parakashta, Rama, Nrsimha and Krishna. Parakashta means like the highest expression of Bhagavan also. Very nice. Why? Because Nrsimhadeva, he is showing the highest expression of Vatsalya, love and affection to the devotees. Nrsimhadeva is showing this. Because Nrsimhadev, he killed Hiranyakashipu, and then after that he manifested the ferocious form, terrible form, this Ugramurti, and all the demigods were afraid, they didn't even want to come in front of him. Even Lakshmi Devi didn't want to come in front of Krishna, then Nrsimhadeva. And in the end, all the demigods, they sent Prahlada in front of him. And when Prahlada came in front of Nrsimhadev, his heart melted in this moment. But he was so angry, Nrsimhadev was angry, yeah? Red eyes. He was looking everywhere, and Brahma demigods, they were afraid, and they could not even make prayers to Nrsimhadeva because they were so afraid. They were like feeling so much fear that they were like trembling like this. They were so afraid they could not even speak the prayers to Nrsimhadeva, Brahma and demigods. Nrsimhadeva was so angry. Hey Brahma! Brahma started to pee. Brahma wet his cloth because Nrsimhadeva so loudly, so he wet his pants with a pee. Just like a big elephant. So Nrsimhadeva is not an ordinary. Nrsimhadeva, when he told Brahma, why did you give this benediction to the demon? And look at the fruit of this. He did so many bad things and gave suffering to everyone. he could not even speak anything. Like how to say, stammering. So he was stammering. All the other demigods, they even ran away. They fled, like afraid that Nrsimhadev would also speak something to them and chastise them. So when one person is chastising someone, the others are also like trying to escape because they know maybe they will be also the object of the chastisement. Like when Srimati Radhika is chastising some friend, then Krishna is also afraid and he's thinking maybe someone should chastise him. There's a shloka saying, Nila Nikunja Hari Bhavatnam. Hey Radhike, when you perform many pastimes with your beloved, and sometimes you hide in some kunja, then Krishna is searching for you, and Krishna comes and near you. In this moment, you chastise me. This is Shloka of Rupa Goswami. Oh Saki, why did you tell to Krishna that I was hidden here? Then the Saki is saying, it was not me, it was Chitra, Saki. Srimati Radhike, I didn't rat you out. I didn't tell to Krishna what you did. Actually, Chitra told. Chitra told where you were hiding. Chitra is one of the 8 Sakis. So Srimati Radhika was not chastising Chitra. She was chastising the Manjaris. So when Srimati Radhika was chastising the Manjaris, Krishna himself was also frightened, afraid. Right? Because if someone who is really powerful is chastising someone else, everybody is also afraid. Everyone. Because they are afraid, oh, maybe they'll also chastise me, he'll also chastise me. Like for example, some prime minister is chastising someone, everybody is afraid, maybe they also chastise me. So I'm saying this, like when Nrsimhadeva manifests this very angry form, chastising Brahma and demigods, everyone was afraid. In this terrible, ferocious form of Nrsimha, Ugrabiram. This stuti is coming from Nrsimhadeva, na? Om Graviram. So who will come near Nrsimhadeva in this situation? All the demigods told Lakshmi, you go. Lakshmi said, no, I cannot go also now. Other moments, okay, I can try to pacify and control my husband, but now, not possible. And it's not possible for me. All the demigods told the Prahlad, okay, you go to your Prabhu. Prahlad came close, and then what happened to Nrsimhadeva? In 1 second, his mood completely changed, and he started to cry, Nrsimhadeva, and he took Prahlad in his lap, on his thighs. Just like the parents, mother, father, when they take the kid in the lap and put the kid sitting on his thighs on the lap and then tapping the son from the back. So Nrsimhadeva was crying even. Nrsimhadeva is called Bhakta Vatsala. So much Vatsala for his devotee. So Nrsimhadeva is also Parakasta, the highest expression of the supremacy of Lord in its aspect of Vatsalya Bhava. This parental love for the devotee. And Ramachandra, he has Prajavatsala, he has love for his subjects, parental love for the subjects of the kingdom. So for the happiness and for the of the subjects, Ramachandra was even prepared to give up all his own happiness, everything. So who is the most dear thing to us in this world is our wife. But Ramachandra even gave up his own wife, and he knew Sita Devi was not like didn't do anything wrong. He knew that she was completely, her character was spotless. He knew it. But still, just to give happiness to the subjects, Ramachandra, he also gave up his own wife. Wow, look at this king showing. So this is okay. So this is the expression of Ramachandra, highest expression. So Nrsimha, Ramachandra, and now Bhagavan Krishna also. Krishna also shows this highest expression of Shringaras, Paramur mood. Krishna is controlled by his beloved. Krishna is Dhiralalita Nayak. And Dhiralalita Nayak, this hero, has 4 qualities, 4 symptoms. This is shown completely in Krishna. First, Presi Basibhut, being controlled by the beloved. Presi Basibhuta. When Krishna manifests the Dhiralalita Nayaka Bhav, Shrimati Radhika herself, she manifests as Swadrina Bhatika Nayaka, the heroine who is ordering her beloved to do many things, and he does everything she wants. So Shrimati Radhika says, draw something on my chest, like some drawings on my chest. And Krishna, just like a lusty man, Krishna is drawing pictures or designs on the chest of Shrimati Radhika. Wow, look at this. Shrimati Radhika says, put alta on my foot. And Krishna asks, he doesn't know how to put alta. How to put alta? Krishna doesn't know. Krishna sees the feet of Shrimati Radhika and Krishna becomes absorbed in bhav, because her feet is so beautiful and soft, so beautiful lines and symbols on her feet. The symbols in her feet are so beautiful, so Krishna sees and becomes completely immersed and absorbed. Vilapa Kusumanjali, Raghunadas Goswami described this in a very beautiful way. Beautiful bhav. So Presi Basibhut, Parihaspato. So he's so expert in laughing, joking words, in speak laughing, joking words. Nischintata, also one of the symptoms, he's always carefree, like without any worries. No worries, he doesn't have any worries. And also the fourth, Navajovanancha, every fresh, every fresh beautiful form. So Krishna, Satchidananda Rupa. Okay, but all forms of Krishna are Satchidananda. What speak of Krishna? Even the Jiva is Satchidananda, come on, right? Yes, Jiva is also Satchidananda. But the Jiva is Anu Satchidananda, Minute Satchidananda, Anu Chaitanya, Minute conscious being. And Bhagavan is Brihat Chaitanya, great conscious being. But the Satchidananda form of God is Adbhut, means completely amazing, incredible, unprecedented. Especially the form of Krishna. What can I tell about it? How to describe it? Krishna manifests his highest form when he is with Shrimati Radhika. Where? In the Rasa Lila. That's why Rupa Goswami wrote this verse. Shama Rama Rama. Wow. His Shami Srimati Radhika. When you are in the left side of Govinda, how to describe your beautiful form? Lakshmi and all these consorts of Bhagavan, Narayana. You defeat their beauty and their qualities completely. At the moment, everyone becomes completely amazed by seeing the beautiful form of you together with Krishna in this moment in the Rasa Lila. Because Krishna manifests his most beautiful form in front of Srimati Radhika. Like Chandravali, others also. Okay, but the form that Krishna manifests when he is with Srimati Radhika, then it's unprecedented and it's not possible to explain this form with words. That's why Vedanta Sutra explains Arupavata Pradhana Ebhi means his form is incomparable. You cannot compare to anything else because it's unparalleled, unique and unparalleled. How to compare his form with anything? If there was a second thing, okay, but nothing else to compare him with because he's the most beautiful. Wow. Beautiful form of Bhagavan. Shukadeva Goswami also explains when Krishna disappears from the Ras dance. And there was the Gopi Gita, all the gopis, they were suffering separation from Krishna. And they started to glorify the pastimes of Krishna with beautiful melody. And then Krishna at that moment, he appeared in the assembly of the gopis. In that moment, the form of Krishna was very beautiful. And then Shukadeva Goswami explains in this verse, Tasam Avirabit Sauri. Shukadeva Goswami Pad completely absorbed in Gopi Bhav. Actually, he started even to chastise Krishna and even like calling him names. He told, you are Sauri. He called him Sauri. This is like a swearing words. Sauri means you are from the dynasty of the Kshatriyas. Because remember, there are two dynasties. Devamir had two wives. One from the dynasty of Kshatriya, another Vaishya. Vaishya. So from the wife of Kshatriya, who came? Surasen. Surasen came in this dynasty. That's why another name of Mathura was Surasen Pradesh in the past. Mathura was called like the state of Surasen, Surasen Pradesh. You know? And from Surasen who came? Vasudev Maharaj. And from Vasudev, Krishna came. So Krishna also came in this Kshatriya Vamsa, dynasty of Kshatriyas. And from the wife of Vaishya of this king Devamir, Parjana came. And from Parjana came 5 sons. Amongst them, Nanda Maharaj. And the son of Nanda Maharaj was Krishna. So Sukadeva Goswami referred to Krishna not from the dynasty of the Vaishyas, but from the dynasty of Kshatriyas, and he called names, like means he like insulted Krishna a little bit, saying you're Chauri, means you are from Kshatriya. You are very cruel. Because the Kshatriyas, what are the symptoms? They are ready to fight, ready to. They're very like Ugra Sabhav, means very angry and ferocious. Ferocious, you say? Like aggressive. Brahmanas are calm people, but the Kshatriyas, they are aggressive. They speak, they eat, they drink, everything they do is Ugra, like aggressive mood. So they go to the war and they will kill anyone, doesn't matter, the family of the person will be dead, doesn't matter, they're cruel. So the commentaries explain. So Shukadeva Goswami Pad Shukadeva Goswami like insulted Krishna, like calling him names, swear, calling him Sauri. Sauri means like you're cruel. The gopis are so simple, soft-hearted. And they did everything for you, they sacrificed everything for you, they came here and you left these gopis and giving this suffering to them. At the same time, Shukadeva Goswami also described, okay, he chastised Krishna, like insulted Krishna, like calling names, call him names. Sauri was like calling him name, like swearing him, like abusing words. But then he also described his beauty at the same time. Smayam Mukam, like wow, the beauty of Krishna, wow, was defeating even the beauty of the Cupid. His form was so beautiful, his smile, amazing smile, his lotus face, completely attracting everyone's heart, enchanting everyone. Pitambara. Wow, beautiful form. Pitambara. Wow. How Krishna came? He was holding his Pitambara on his neck, just like an aparadi, an offender. Pitambara dhara means he was holding tightly his Pitambara, his white yellow cloth. Just like if some offender comes to the king, he also puts some cloth around his neck and he's folding hands and praying to the king because he's an offender. So in the same way, Krishna, when he came to the assembly of the gopis, he came just like an offender. First of all, he was smiling, and in this way he was completely attracting the heart of everyone. Wow. And another point, he was an offender. So like opposite things going on. This is called in the Alankar Shastra, which explains about these ornaments. This is called Bidharma. Sometimes I tell this. You don't remember anything, human being. When you speak two things contrary at the same time. I always speak, but you don't remember anything? So at the same time, he's abusing Krishna, calling names, and then also saying how he's beautiful. How this word is saying what? Actually, this. So Krishna was wearing the garland made by Srimati Radhika by her own hands. So Krishna was even wearing this garland. Krishna wants to say, like he was wearing this garland, because Krishna wants to tell the message, Gopis, you think I'm an offender, but I'm not an offender. If I would be, look, why? I'm still wearing the garland you gave to me. Look, I have so much love and affection for you. That's why I'm still wearing on my neck what you gave to me. So this word sagri, this meaning this, it's mean Vajanti Mala, this garland made by Srimati Radhika. Krishna was still wearing on his neck. Sakshat Manmatho. So his beauty was defeating the Cupid, the beauty of the Cupid and the mind of the Cupid. The name is Virodha Bhasha Alankar. Virodha Bhasha Alankar. So Virodha Bhasha Alankar. So Alankar is the ornament, and he's like you're putting two qualities contrary to each other in the same time. Virodha means the opposite. So Shukadeva Goswami, he insulted Krishna, instead like calling him names, swore him, and then he also glorified his beauty at the same time. So this is ornament, poetical ornament, is called Virodha Bhasha Alankar, and this is manifesting a very special rasa madhurya, some sweetness moods coming from this kind of speech. So Krishna is Sachidananda Rupa. And then Shukadeva Goswami Pada, he'll say what? Oh, the gopis when they appears. Okay. The gopis, they offer their asan to Krishna. They offer one seat to Krishna to sit. How was this seat they gave, this asan? Actually, was the cloth the gopis were wearing on their chest that were colored by their kumkum of their chest. And also this cloth was also wet from their tears. And also full of also dust of Vraja also in this cloth they gave. So first of all, this cloth was colored by the kumkum of the chest of the gopis. So it was like reddish kumkum. Second point, this cloth was also wet by the tears of the gopis. And third point, this cloth was also completely mixed with the like dust. I don't have to say dirt, mud of Braj, like this earth. So if somebody gives you an asan to sit, if the asan is wet with water, by water, and also full of dust, how to say dirt? No, dust, not like a dust. This mud of this earth, you sit in this. Oh no, the dust of Braj. So this cloth they were wearing on their chest, first of all, was colored by the kumkum of their chest. So it's reddish by the kumkum. And the second point was wet from the tears of their eyes. And third point also was the dust of Raja was completely on the cloth, just like mud also. So the gopis offered this, chundari means this, like the part like the cloth, to Krishna to see. And then Krishna sat in front of all the gopis. And this beautiful, Krishna manifested an opulence mood in this moment, opulence. Which, what Krishna did? There were sign crore, means billions of gopis and trillions. All the gopis saw Krishna as Krishna is accepting the cloth I gave to him. And Krishna is sitting on the asana I gave to him. Jai. So this is amazing, amazing. This is possible for Bhagavan. You see, all gopis were saying and thinking, Krishna is accepting the cloth I gave to him. I gave to him. So in this context, our acharyas like Vishwanath Chakravarti and the very exalted Rasik acharyas they describe Brahma and demigods. By yoga and tapasya, they are trying to purify their hearts. And so sometimes God accepts in their sometimes God appears in their pure heart, sometimes not, like Rupa Goswami is explaining in that song. Rupa Goswami is a Rasika Acharya. So what's he describing? Brahma and great demigods, by their meditation and their austerities, they are purifying their hearts, and they are offering asana, a seat for God to sit in their hearts, inside their hearts, these great demigods. But in this asana of the hearts of these great personalities, sometimes Krishna appears, sometimes not. What to speak of appearing in their hearts? Even the shine, like the glow, the effulgence of the lotus nails of Krishna's feet sometimes comes, sometimes not. What to speak of Krishna completely appearing in their hearts? Even the effulgence of the nails of the toe of Krishna, foot of Krishna, sometimes appears, sometimes not in their heart. What to speak of Krishna himself? Even the effulgence of the toenail. Nakagra Marichi means this. So these rays of the toenails of Krishna, this glow, this effulgence, not even appear in the heart. What to speak of Krishna completely? So, but the gopis, they offer this dirty cloth to Krishna, and Krishna sat. And then Krishna sat in their heart, in this cloth. How was the beautiful form of Krishna? He sat. He was smiling. And speaking very amazingly, very sweet with all the gopis. The acharyas explain. It's a beautiful picture manifesting this moment. A beautiful image. So Krishna, when Krishna sat in the cloth that gopis offered, how Krishna sat? One foot on his thigh. Wow. So a way of how to sit. Those who are Rasik, even how they sit, he was not afraid of anything. I'm an offender. I gave suffering to the gopis. Maybe the gopis will speak something. He was no, but he was not afraid. Like a king. Like a king. Sitting with one foot on the thigh. Wow. And smiling. Krishna wanted to give evidence. Hey gopis, look, I am your beloved. Even if the beloved does something, you should not see the fault of the beloved. Because prema is such a thing. Lover and beloved don't see the fault of each other. If you start seeing the fault of each other, the love is destroyed. This is the problem of Swakya and Parakya, wedded love and Paramormut. Because in a wedding, they are always together, wife and husband, so they start to see each other's faults. Like you, for example, you snore too much, you go sleep in another room. Come on. He's saying yes, yes, yes. Yes, this is the problem. You wake up too early and you wake me up. You're destroying my sleepiness. Chanting Harinam so early. Go to sleep in another room. So if you stay too much time together, you start to see the faults of each other. You understand? But in Parakyata, in Paramormut, so much eagerness to meet to each other. So much eagerness. Because they are afraid at the time. In Paramormut, Parakya, they are always afraid. Which kind of fear? We are meeting now. But later on he'll go. So always Bhavi Viraha, future separation mode. Because they think, oh, soon we'll be separated again. Bhavi Viraha means the future separation. After some time he will have to leave me and go away. And also Amangala Sankam, thinking, worryings and thinking many inauspicious things maybe when they're like, because the more you love someone, do you understand? The more condensed is the love, then Amangala Sankam means you start thinking about worries. Like, why didn't he come today? Maybe something happened. Maybe there was a car accident. Something happened. Nothing happened. But you're worrying and start thinking many bad things, like inauspicious things. You're worrying and thinking bad things happen. This is in Paramormut. You don't even have time to see each other's faults. Don't have time for that. Only see the qualities and that's it. In Parakya Bhav, only you see the qualities and qualities, that's it. You don't even have time to see the faults, no time. In the spiritual world, Parakya is very special, Paramormut. Another point, you're also glorifying each other's qualities. And the love becomes most condensed. Sneha, then man becomes like crooked. The love becomes crooked. So this man, many kinds of man, Lalit man, Udatta man, Lalit man. If I describe all this, then I'll spend all day. Sorry. So many kinds of Bhav Madhurya, sweetness moods in this man. So Paramormut is, Parakya is more special than Swakya. What did love? So I'm saying, when Krishna appeared in the assembly of the gopis and he sat down, how he was sitting, the position, it was like amazing, impressive. So he was putting one foot on his thigh and another foot down. Krishna was like fearless sitting, not afraid of anything. Or also Krishna wants to show, hey gopis, I'm your beloved, Pran Priyatam. Don't look at my faults. And also not look at your faults. I'm not looking at your faults, why are you looking at my faults? So all these Bhav Madhurya, these sweetness moods, our acharyas explain. So I only spoke one Sachidananda Rupan, just this part. Santa Dasa Sakya Vatsala Madhurya, how is this beautiful form depending on the mood? What is in Shantaras? Iman. The lover beloved. Iman, so it's this is Shantaras. In Madhurya Ras, Paramormut, how you serve in Shantaras, neutrality mode, when you're in Man, anger with your beloved. Our acharyas describe all this in details. How to serve in Shantaras, in Madhurya Ras. That's a Sakyavatsalya Madhurya. And if you describe each form of this, it will take unlimited time, ananta time. And he's ringing the bell again and again. I couldn't even finish this part. Rupam. Satchidananda Rupam. How is this transcendental form of Lord? He is Satchidananda form. So there is a form Satchidananda for Shantaras, for Dasya also, and for Sakya. There is Satchidananda form also, and Vatsalya, and also in Paramurmud Shringaras also there is a Satchidananda form described. Are you feeling the happiness or not? There you cannot get the happiness. Each person can only speak 10 minutes there. One person can only speak 10 minutes, so how to get the happiness?